I don't know if I was I don't think we were picking each other's brains, but I think you learn a lot from just being in a scene with somebody. You know, it's a kind of an intimate, strange thing where you're having to do something together but against each other. Those are the good scenes. Like she constantly in actual life is a little bit ahead of me and like just smarter in general and frustrating me.
Um,
And I try to do it back in the only way I know how. And yeah, I'm just fighting for my life over here, genuinely.
when you're working with another actor that's great and professional and present and interesting, you learn a lot about yourself too because you know, it's a dance that you're
Yeah.
doing like with the other person. And
Mhm.
so you learn a lot about, it informs like how you are, maybe your character is feeling, or, oh, there's like a button he's pressing that I didn't see, or how am I gonna, the person's keeping you on your toes, which is fun. It
Yeah.
helps your performance like feel alive.
There's a lot of ways you can do a scene, obviously, and like she could come in and be really vulnerable, and that would change the way that I had a plan coming into the scene, and vice versa. Like she could come in and be like even more just like in my face, just messing everything up, but doing it with a smile and kind of like with that like saccharine sweet, like yeah, hi, sort of a thing, and you just want to just murder the person, but you can't, and so it would just do really fun things, if as long as you just met the person wherever they were.
I produced Black Widow before, like when we did it before COVID. And that was actually great because I was able to do, like see through the creative process on that. And then you realize you're like, oh, I can never not produce something that I'm in because
Yeah.
it's so much more efficient. Um, unless like something is handed to you and it's a production, you're like, oh, you're working for Wes Anderson. And obviously like he's got his own well-oiled machine. Like I'm just dipping into his universe. But I think like for the most part, I think that's why you see so many actors now producing the films that they're in, or producing films for other actors, because it's just so much more efficient. And I think it just keeps like a happier set, really, because you just know sort of what everybody needs to do their job.
I think I was producing the one before, which was a complete nightmare of a shoot. It just went all sideways. And then I came into this one, I was just like, oh wow, I have days off on this one. And I don't have to like go to like production meetings after this day. I can just go home. Yay. And I was like, this is great. I need to do this more often. But I think each one is unique and you just kind of try to make it the best you possibly can. Like I'm doing a movie now that's so heavy and so like, it's such a tiny little movie, but you feel like you're giving more than you do on this massive movie that we were there for months, and it's just all different. Also, the big part of I think that for an actor that wants to produce is like you're usually in the development process, and you can really sort of set yourself up to win. You can set the movie up to win, set it up for your strengths and like where you want to see the movie go, and like so you've kind of done a lot of your character work in a way for the movie because you've built yourself into it in a way instead of getting into it and trying to figure out how you fit. So